Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are doing well. Now, last week we completed our first chapter, Families and Families. I hope you have all understood. And if there is any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Now, let's start with our second chapter. Can you guess what is the second chapter that we are going to study? Let me give you a hint. We live together with our family. Where do we stay with our family? Can I give you another hint? As soon as the school gets over, where we are excited to rush and go? Yeah, you guessed it right. It's our home or a house. A house is a place where we stay with our family. A house is a place where we rush to go after school. So, now we are going to start the second chapter, that is an ideal home. Lesson number 4, ideal home. So children, let's start with chapter number 4, an ideal home. So before we begin our chapter, the explanation of the chapter, let's start with the starter. In the starter, there is a small poem. I'm going to recite the poem. Just listen to the poem and think about it. A home is not where you come back to sleep. A home is where you come back to feel alive. A home is not a place to store your worries. A home is a place to let your happiness thrive. A home is where you say goodbye to gloom. A home is where you let love bloom. So what do you understand by this poem? Or how do you feel reciting this poem? You share your feelings with me, okay? Tell me how you felt. You can just give me a voice call saying how you felt reading this poem. Now, how I felt, I should tell you also. So, how I felt is, I felt like after reading this poem, it's like a home is a heaven for all of us. After the long day of hard work, we come to home and we get the love of our family over there. We forget all the worries and thrive happiness. So, home is a place, it's more or less like a heaven to all of us. And that's what I feel. You also tell me how you felt reading this poem. Children, what do you think is an ideal home? Any guesses? You may think an ideal home is one which is big and made up of strong materials like concrete or bricks. Or you may think that a house located in a city is an ideal home. But that's not true. A house can be big or small. It can have one or more rooms. It can be located in a city or in a village. There are few essential features that make it an ideal home. And what are these features, children? Let's discuss that. Children, here are the features of an ideal home. The first one is sunlight. So all of us know sunlight is very important for us. Our body needs sunlight for the formation of vitamin D by our skin. Sunlight is very good for us. It also keeps the house free from germs. The second point is ventilation. Now, clean and fresh air keeps us healthy. So, a house should have big windows and open spaces like verandas or balconies to let in fresh air. The next point is sanitation. So, what do you understand by sanitation? It is the proper drainage of waste water from our home. So, a proper covered drainage system should be there in our house. Next is water supply. Water supply, like we should have adequate water supply in our home for our daily purposes like bathing, washing, etc. The next point is safety. Safety is another important factor. We all want to live in a house which is safe. So, it should have a proper locking system at the door, and the window should be covered with mesh so as to protect us from the insects, and also this is how we keep ourselves safe. The next point is cleanliness. So you all know cleanliness is so important. If a house is clean and tidy, we all love to stay there, and we all are also avoiding many diseases to occur, germ-free houses. So a floor should be cleaned daily. We should use disinfectants. Nowadays we are using so many disinfectants at home. We are disinfecting our house properly so as to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Similarly, we should always dust our house and keep it neat and clean. Now, then comes the efficient garbage disposal. Garbage in the house should be disposed of properly. Dustbin should be kept covered and cleared daily. So the all household waste should be thrown into the dustbins. Okay, so these are the features of an ideal home. So let's recap. The features of an ideal home are sunlight, ventilation, sanitation, water supply, safety, cleanliness, and efficient garbage disposal. So if a house has all these features, it is considered to be an ideal home. Now children, when we start this chapter, an ideal home, the first question that arises in our mind is, why do we need a house? The answer to the question, why do we need a house, is very clear. The house provides us with shelter and protect us from extreme weather conditions like wind, heat, rain. It also protects us from thieves and wild animals. It keeps our belongings safe and we feel comfortable in our house. Kids, every house has an address. The address of our house is its number, the street, the road and the city where it is located. As you can see in this picture, I have written my address. It consists of my name, the flat number where I live, the building number where I stay, and the other details. You too try to write your complete address. The space is given in the book. If you check page number 33, do it in your book and show me.